There is nothing that I would love more in life than to not care about politics. I would love to not give a shit about politics. Why are UK citizens so disinterested and ignorant about politics? Now, I'm not saying that to be mean or rude as I negotiate around this cyclist. Come on, let me in. Oh, don't be a dick. Just let me in. Okay, let me in. I'm not saying that to be rude. I mean, ignorant. A lot of people get offended by the word ignorant, but all ignorant means is just lack of knowledge on a subject. I'm extremely ignorant when it comes to the latest lineup for the Czechoslovakian ice hockey team. That's all it means, isn't it? Lack of knowledge. But whenever you see these interviews from news articles, people where they ask people on the street about current topics in politics, they always just seem sort of generally ignorant on the subject, or they give sort of vague, uneducated answers.
What do you think of Boris Johnson as a Prime Minister? Do you think he's doing a good job?
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job. I think with the Brexit, he's done really well with Brexit. With the coronavirus, I think they could have acted a bit sooner. I think we're a bit behind on most countries. Like, he acted a bit less like down the line type thing. But I know, I think he's done a good job.
At this point, I always just want to follow up that question with, do you want to give us an example of what you're so pleased about with Boris? What policy are you most pleased about over Boris's term?
And what do you think of Brexit? Do you think it's been a success?
Partly, because they're still having a bit of problems with it, aren't they, like tweaking it and things like that. But other than that, I think they'll get it through and get it all sorted. I mean, holidays are back on and things like that, you know.
Holidays are back on? What on earth has that got to do with Brexit? See, this is what I don't understand. Like, they always try an answer, don't they? So it's obvious that they don't want to be perceived as unknowledgeable about politics. Because, I mean, there's nothing wrong in that situation, just saying, you know what, I'm not really up to date with what's going on in Brexit, so I can't really answer that question. But they always try an answer. So it's obvious that they're ashamed of their lack of knowledge of politics, but they always just give a really vague answer.
I think Brexit has been a success. He's been a good Prime Minister up until the point recently. It came into a tough time, obviously. Obviously the pandemic, which would have tested every government.
He's been a good PM. Oh, hello, we've got police tape here. What's going on here? Anything, a couple of discarded bikes. Don't know what's going on there. But yeah, again, it's like, I just want to push him on this question. He's been a good PM. Okay, give me an example. Because when these people do actually get pushed on this subject, this happens.
I'll probably vote for the Tories, to be honest.
Is there anything that would turn you off them?
Not really.
Is there anything that would turn you against Boris Johnson that would perhaps change your mind?
No, I don't think so.
Can you think of a good thing that Boris Johnson has accomplished?
And herein lies the problem, you know. In a way, I don't blame people. I've often said in my videos, I'm only into politics. I only keep updated in politics because it's just such a shit show at the moment that you have to be. But I think people just assume that things are just ticking over, aren't they? It's that British mentality again. Keep calm, carry on. You know, I don't think people realise that we could do better.
I mean, he's had a bad run, I know that, and he's made a lot of gaffes. But I don't think there is anybody that is what I would say is strong enough to rule this country.
Any of you guys ever had like a really, really shit job that you've done for like 4 or 5 years? I worked nights, a real nasty, grueling job for about 4 or 5 years. And it's not till you sort of pause and leave when you look back and you think, why the bloody hell did I do that for so long? And I kind of think it's like the same mentality with people's opinions on politics in this country. You know, we're just ploughing through life. COVID's just happened. We've got you know, war in Ukraine and stuff. I guess the government are doing their best, but it's not till you pause and step away and take a look at it, and you think, you know, what, are the government doing their best they can? You know, let's have a little research. Let's have a little look into this. Oh shit, look at this PPE contracts. Fuck, look how much they spent on test and trace. Jesus Christ, look at the corruption. you also, a lot of people are just so ploughing through life. Like I say, that British mentality, keep calm, carry on, times are hard, let's just, you know, I guess the government are doing the best they can at the moment, I guess they are, but let's just keep ploughing through. And it's not till you stop and pause and take yourself away from that when you really realise. It's, there is nothing that I would love more in life than to not care about politics. I would love to not give a shit about politics. I really would. I guess that's the ideal life. An ideal world would be a government that just ticks over, just gets stuff done, and we don't have to concern ourselves. We pay our taxes each month and shit just gets done. That's an ideal world. But unfortunately, with this Tory government we have right now, that's not the ideal world that we live in. I'd love to hear from some subscribers, some viewers that are a little bit older than me. But for me, I don't know whether it's coincidence or not, but during the 90s, during the early 2000s, during the Labour government, I didn't engage in politics at all, because for me, things just seemed to tick over. Apart from the Iraq war, that was the big thing during the Labour government. But other than that, there just didn't seem to be scandal and corruption, so I felt no need to really engage in politics. Things just ticked over, things just got done. I'd love to hear if anyone else felt the same, or maybe it was just because I was in my 20s and I was just more concerned with beer and you know, I don't know, maybe that's the case. I would also love to hear from people in other countries if they don't really concern themselves with their own government's politics, because things just tick over, things just get done. You know, that is the ideal world that we're looking for, but unfortunately with this Tory government we just don't have it, and I think that's the problem. And I don't blame people in this country for sticking their head in the sand. You know, when times are tough, and we've had the last couple of years that we've had, and you know, I know people get affected with mental health problems and stuff like that, and they don't want to surround themselves with bad news. I get it, I totally understand why people want to put their head in the sand and not listen to this stuff and not get engaged in politics. But I don't know, I think we kind of need to, don't we? That's another question I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do people need to make a more aversive effort to engage in politics, to educate themselves on politics, because it's so important right now, because we've got a government that are so corrupt? But then if they don't know the government are corrupt, then how are they going to get engaged? Oh my God. It's just an endless cycle, isn't it? Absolute endless cycle. But yeah, also, is it different in other countries? I know I have a lot of viewers from other countries. Are the general public in other countries more engaged in politics? Or like I just said, are they not engaged because nothing really crazy is going on? I don't know. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for all your likes, all your views, and all your subscribes. Thanks to those that gave me a super thanks in the last video. I really appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, there's a thanks button down below. Till next time, take care.